Excuse me. Alright, the last time I think we said fulfilled their duty. Chickened out. You chickens. You big chickens. Did that fill it? Are we filled? No, we're not. We still got more to go. They're cowards. Definitely. Well, you should know they're better than me. They decided to save their own lives by sacrificing me. Is that fair? Araki raised a brow, which probably meant he was pretty sarcastic about it. Do you think being afraid of death is wrong? No, but I'm also scared of dying. Can a person think rationally under the stress of danger? I don't understand. Like I said, danger changes people. It's not hard to lose control when you're in danger. Don't you think, kid? Yeah, probably. Ha! Then I'll teach you a little lesson, young one. Will you kill me after all? I'm too old for... Ah, never mind. It's easier if I just show you. Punch. The world before Ethani's eyes disappeared. It dissolved into a fog. For just a second, as if it never existed. This is most likely how one meets their end. However, Ethani felt quite alive. She continued to think, to be scared. She was even a little angry at Araki for his vague words. And then the girl opened her eyes. Whoa. Before her was an island, full of shining greenery. Grass sparkled with dew under the sun, and azure waves overflowed with colour. The sun was bright. There was a pleasant breeze. Where am I? It's an island in the middle of the sea, isn't it obvious? You kidnapped me? Stop screaming, I'm too old for such loud sounds. Then return me to the lighthouse. Hurry up or I'll bleed to death and die. You won't. We haven't even left your favourite lighthouse. Esteban wouldn't have let me. Oh. Where are we then? Inside your head. Huh? Ethani shook her head to either side reflexively. She felt nothing special. How's that possible? Well, I've tinkered with some things so you could fully taste danger. Enjoy. The girl lowered her arms and to her surprise heard the clang of iron from underneath her. Ethani looked at her hands and realised that she was locked in chains. Those chains ended at the centre of the island and went into the ground. What is this? Why am I locked into this? Think of it as a game we're playing. According to its rules, if you unlock your chains, you die. Oh. Life is channeled into you through these chains. Just like a flower that would wilt if you don't water it, or if you pull it out at the root. These chains are your roots, the spring water that powers your existence. Huh, I think I get it. Wonderful. Now have fun. Have fun? Enjoy your life. Araki's voice disappeared. I thought he couldn't understand him, but still tried to follow his advice. She examined the island and it turned out to be quite picturesque despite the size. The girl liked the juicy emerald grass, the colourful flowers, the azure waves. Her heart was tranquil. Ethani didn't want to think that she would need to leave this island. Ethani didn't want to think that she would need to leave this wonderful island one day. There was only one thing that was one typo, and I just lose my train of thought entirely. You know, sorry. There was only one thing that was holding the girl down from sinking into the happy slumber. The horizon, there, somewhere far from the shore, danger was hiding. Ethani was sure she'd die if she tried to cross the vast sea. Chains held her hostage on the island, but it was for the better. The sea was scary. Oh well. Are you scared? Of course, the sea is dangerous. Any of its inhabitants can swallow me if I try to get close. Won't you risk it? What if you're wrong? Keeper's words made the girl doubt herself, so she tried pulling on the chains, trying to free herself. They gave way, coming out of the ground. Ethani stepped into the water. Even though the end of the chains was still inside the island's ground, Ethani managed to pull more and more of it outside, getting further and further away from his safe haven. However, the further she walked on the water's surface, the weaker she felt, as if she suddenly became sick. Not feeling well? Yeah. Scared? Yes. Ethani realised that she would die if she kept going forward. She was significantly weaker. Every evil sea dweller could attack her and kill her without so much effort now. If she got into their jaws, Ethani would have regretted ever being born. They would have teared her apart, tortured her. They drank her blood, tormented her flesh infinitely. I've had enough. It's too scary. The girl turned around and went back toward the island. The closer she was to it, the better she felt. When she'd finally stepped on the silky grass, Ethani felt completely healthy and happy. What a short journey that was. I'm scared. I'm not leaving this place. Alright. Enjoy your peace and quiet. Ethani followed Keeper's advice with utmost peace and lied down on the grass. She spent some time like that in the rays of the kind sun. A long, long time. How wonderful. Fragrant grass, beautiful flowers, the whispering waves, a dream life. Something colourful flashed before Ethani's eyes. At first she decided it was a sun pool, reflected from the water's surface, but then she realised that it was something... This was something heading in her face's direction. A butterfly? Pretty, isn't it? Very. Another butterfly appeared, and another one. Soon there was a whole colourful family around Ethani. This is so cool. Ethani loved butterflies. It was much more fun having them around, especially since they were so pretty and unique. Every single one of them had their own pattern on their wings. La 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 la. Ethani was humming a song while looking at the butterflies that were settling down on the whole length of her chains. La 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 la. Time passed. Are we going to get drowned in butterflies? More and more butterflies flocked to the chains. They liked it for some reason. They shined especially bright while sitting there. It's beautiful, but I don't feel so good. They're sapping your life force. Ethani no longer saw butterflies as exciting. I feel weird. Ethani tried to brush the insects off the chains, but her weak efforts were clearly not enough. No, the girl swinged her arms frantically, but it seemed like the butterflies were rooted into the crude metal. They're draining my life force. Those butterflies also want to live on the island, and for that, they also need its power. I don't like it. I feel horrible. A strong, sweet smell hit the girl's nostrils. The butterfly's wings became too bright, and Ethani's vision became blurry from all the glowing spots. Ethani realized she was dying. If she let the butterfly sit in her chains, she'll weaken and lose her life. It was scary, enough to make one tremble. Is there a way out? Who knows? I'll try enduring it. But it was unendurable. Butterflies multiplied and they sucked the chains dry, so the island's power wouldn't reach Ethani at all. They were killing Ethani merely by existing. I don't want to die. Then get rid of the insects. Have you never fought flies? But they won't fly away, it's not working. How about you go somewhere far away instead? I should leave? But where? Into the sea? No, it's dangerous. Death, I can't go there. However, butterflies are also killing her. I'm scared, I'm so scared. She didn't want to die, but danger was around every corner. Butterflies would kill her on the island, and evil monsters would do that in the sea. I don't want to die. No. Scary, 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 scary. Ethani lost the last bits of her sanity from horror and started ripping butterflies off the chains. She broke their fragile wings, stomped their minuscule bodies. Blood started pouring out where the butterflies sat, as if they became one with the chains. Ugh. Ethani was rampaging. She stomped the poor creatures, trying to save her own precious life from their shameless encroachment. I won't die, I won't. I won't die, Ethani was standing on the seashore. Exhausted, Araki was standing beside her, shuffling his feet and sometimes tilting his head. I'm too old for this. Seems like I've spent a bit too much of my power. What was that about? Didn't you get it? Didn't you feel the danger to your life? I did. So, what do you think? Brings you back to life, huh? Not really. The girl's heart felt heavy and dark. Ethani remembered destroying dozens of beautiful butterflies just because they decided to live on the island alongside her and shuddered. At the same time, Ethani was too scared to go into the sea, and she couldn't get the butterflies to go away. So, don't you think your parents have felt something similar? The girl's throat was parched. Her parents. They surely are scared for their own lives. It's maddeningly scary. Their only way out was for them to kill the butterfly by the name of Ethani. Danger can teach you valuable lessons. Mr. Esteban is right. About what? I would have enjoyed visiting your lighthouse. Araki laughed in reply, but it was the first time Ethani heard him laugh, so that sudden loud barking scared the girl. Hey, I'm not manic or anything. I just showed you how scary it gets when your life is in real danger. That's right, now Ethani knew how it felt. She was incredibly scared, it was painful. She didn't want to die no matter what, and her parents had felt the same, along with her brother and sister. Nobody wants to die. That's why we do everything to stay alive. Ethani understood that now. She did, but when one is so scared of death, they stop thinking rationally. There was no way she could talk her parents out of it. They can't be dealt with using words. Then, should I just never come back? I'm not sure. Well, I guess I've said and shown you all I could. I got to admit, it was quite entertaining, but alas, my path is waiting for me. Soon I'll be reincarnated. Skip. Alright. Do we have anything we need to do here? I don't think there's anything we need to do, especially now. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. I don't think that's what we did last time either. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Are you scared? Yes, I don't like being scared because I fear I... The girl's shoulders slumped. Are there words that have no fear in them? Have you seen them? Graham's expression darkened and it was strange considering she's usually positive. Yes, I've been to some, and I can't say I liked it there. Why, isn't it great when you don't have to fear anything or worry? My soul was slumbering in those worlds. I wasn't afraid of anything, but it was almost like I couldn't feel anything at all. Here, near the lampfire, I feel warm and calm, but I can treasure this moment just because it's a well-needed change of pace. You feel permanently drunk in the world devoid of fear. Reality blurs, and you start to lose yourself. Oh. But if you like endless slumber, then why not? I personally don't see that as a fulfilling life, though. Don't be sad, this grave expression doesn't suit your face at all. Let's look at the fire. This will help lighten your heart. Thank you, Miss Graham. I think I'll go for now. Can we talk some more? I just remembered one interesting adventure I had. No, thank you. Ethani interrupted Graham mid-sentence, turned around and rushed downstairs. Ethani didn't want to listen anymore. Graham was too similar to her sister. It was painful to look into such a familiar and happy face, considering how much pain Ethani went through because of her during the ritual. How dare she justify her cowardice? Doesn't she feel shame? She was just scared, and that's it. Stupid sister. Ethani almost rolled down on the ground to the ground floor. She was choking on tears. Ethani, did something happen? It was the first time she heard such a worrying voice from the keeper. Did you have a fight with Graham? No, we didn't fight. It's all my fault. I need a bit of a rest, and I'll be back to normal. Of course. I'll go get some fresh air. Ethani ran outside, trying not to look at Esteban. The sight of the sea helped the girl calm down a little, but she decided to take a walk along the shoreline and gather her thoughts. Ethani felt blue. It was very hard, no, absolutely impossible for her to remember her home. The people who she loved more than anything betrayed her and doomed her to suffer. Ethani's love was wavering, like a little fire battling the wind. But could it take the hitting doubt and the pain of disappointment? Ethani didn't know. She threw a lonely glance toward the forest. She wondered how it did feel to live there. Maybe she should seclude herself in the forest. It was infinitely better than returning to the village and getting sacrificed anyway. But Mr. Esteban said that you can't enter the forest. Well, if you're not like Mr. Araki, what should she do? Travel to new worlds? No, that won't do. Ethani slapped her cheeks to bring herself back to life. I'm such a wuss. I have to hurry and make up with Miss Graham. It wasn't good for her to succumb to dark thoughts, so Ethani tried to think more positive. She decided to apologize to the traveller by making her a gift, something beautiful or unusual. But where would she find that? Ethani turned her head while staying put, examining her surroundings. Here's the lighthouse. It would be hard to gift wrap it. Here's the forest. It can't be entered, so there's not much use in unmoving trees. Ethani doubted Graham would be happy with some boring stick or a piece of grass. Here's the sea. The sea is a treasure trove. There's her answer. Ethani ran toward the water's edge, looking for shells or any other valuables the waves could wash ashore. Nothing. The sea was stagnant at the lighthouse, and that meant there were no waves at all. Shucks. But it's alright. Ethani knew that the treasure troves loved to hide underwater. That's why she took her shoes off and stepped forward, expecting the coldness of the water against her bare feet. However, that didn't happen. Instead, the girl's heart tightened and her mind became hazy for a moment. I must be tired, and over-nervous. I shouldn't have argued with Miss Graham. A desire to make up with the female traveller became even stronger, and Ethani started walking along the shore, dipping her hands into the water and feeling around in the sand in search of clams. She couldn't find anything. Let's go a bit further. The moment Ethani took a step toward the sea horizon, ground that was supporting her disappeared. Bubbles formed before her eyes and her ears popped. Ethani wanted to scream, but she froze for some reason. Her couldn't fight the force that was pulling her down. It was a very weird feeling. Ethani wasn't afraid of drowning, but her thoughts mixed up. Some giant's hands were pressing on her chest. Her heart was heavy and hurt immensely. She felt lonely. She wanted to cry and scream. She wanted to give up and let waves carry her deeper and deeper into the fog. Ethani wanted to fight, to swim toward the surface, but something was holding her down, so she couldn't move. Some unknown force was suppressing her determination. Fear. Yes, she was scared. Her heart was pounding in agony as if tearing apart. A myriad thoughts went through her head, her mind chaotically. The ritual is scary. A journey sounds interesting. Ethani will see new places, meet interesting people, forget the past and start her life anew, just like the other traveller. It was a wonderful thing. But what about her family? Adventures. Freedom. No dolls, no curses and sea monsters for you. Her family won't look at Ethani as an outsider. They won't hear her anymore. She just needed to leave them in the past. But we can't just leave them. We can't. Let the new Ethani be born. Ethani the adventurer. Just like Miss Graham. I wonder what Mr. Esteban would say to that. He'll most likely be mad. He's not someone who would advise me to abandon my family and run away, even though he always tells me that every seafarer has their own path. Mr. Esteban's conscience is too strong and he's too good of a person. He just doesn't understand what horrors await Ethani in the village. No, we can't. If she would succumb to her selfishness, Ethani won't be able to look at Mr. Esteban in the eye. Or, well, in the mask. Ethani still hadn't seen his eyes. But it's not that important. Ethani was gasping for air, but her thoughts were more suffocating than the water. She'll probably go completely insane when she reaches the bottom. Suddenly, someone grabbed Ethani's dress and pulled her up toward the light, toward the warm amber light of the lamp. Ethani fell on the sand, coughing and spewing water. Wow, now that's something. Miss Graham? Miss Saviour Graham. Did you pull me up? But of course, why would you go into the sea though? I was looking for a present. For you. Ethani felt horrible. Not only she fought with Graham, but she almost managed to lose her life as well. A gift from me? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, come on, don't be sorry, it's alright. You could have drowned because of me. Graham shook her head and water rained down from them. There's no way that I would have drowned. And you too. The sea is special, look. You'll get dry in no time, like nothing ever happened. Ethani blinked in surprise, then she looked at her clothes. Her wet outfit was almost dry. And how's this possible? The sea near the lighthouse is special. Its waves are the waves of doubt. The waves of doubt? When a seafarer is confused and goes astray, the lighthouse shows him the way. The sea that said seafarer traverses is filled with to the brim with millions of thoughts and doubts that lead him off the set course. Wow. Ethani realized why she wasn't scared of drowning. Other fears occupied her head instead. She still wasn't able to decide what was right, saving her family or herself. She loved them, but other worlds were also alluring, just like the sweet aroma of flower lures an insect. You're amazing, Miss Graham. I want to be like you. Ethani stared at the female traveller in awe. You saved me, and you weren't afraid of your doubts. Yeah, I think. You know, I think I want to become a traveller myself. Really? A nice idea. I'm all for it. It's fun. I want to travel with you and see new worlds, just like in your tales. Graham tilted her head and thought. No, that won't do. You're still not determined. Yeah, probably. I still have doubts. I like it at the lighthouse. I don't want to leave Mr. Esteban. And that's good. If you get determined enough, just talk to Esteban straight. Say a proper farewell to show your strong feelings. Then you become a traveller and not a runaway. Don't be sad. You're just not ready yet. I understand. I'll enjoy my life at the lighthouse to the fullest. Good girl. Now go to Az and listen to him confess his love towards alarm clocks. And I have to go. Thank you, Miss Graham. We'll definitely see each other in another world. Graham laughed, running backwards, facing Ethani and waving her hand. Bye, Ethani. Parting is also part of the way, even though it's sad to accept. Ethani tried to force a smile. Go on a journey, rid yourself of your doubts. Ahoy, don't forget. I won't. I'll be waiting. Graham disappeared into the distance, hiding behind the horizon. Ethani looked at her back, and then returned to the lighthouse. Despite Ethani almost losing herself among the dark depths of her doubts, she felt much better now. Mrs. Graham was right. If one would go on a journey, it should be with a clear conscience, and having weighed all the pros and cons. Thank you, Miss Graham. The doubts in the girl's heart cleared, as if a magic lamp lighted it up. Okay, I apologise, this is going to be a long episode, but I imagine, because I'm going to go all the way to the end this time, but I imagine the next ones are going to be shorter and shorter and shorter, because I'm just going to do one ending per episode, or at least that's the plan. But there'll be less new stuff to read each time, you know. Oh look, the waves started moving. Now you'll be able to feel it. Ethani shook her head in a desperate attempt to see the incoming wind. She failed, so she closed her eyes. Ethani enjoyed staying at the lighthouse, but on the other hand, she missed the sea breeze on the coast in her home island. Something gently touched the girl's cheek, as if rubbing her with a silky soft palm. This is it, the wind! And as if to confirm her words, a strong gust of wind ran through the coast, making the waves part. Esteban smiled, and the hem of his robe was ruffled by the wind like a flag. Can you feel it? Almost as if it's inviting me on a journey. It'll guide you soon, becoming your faithful and irreplaceable friend. Is that what you wanted to show me? The wind? Not exactly. The keeper's smile widened and he stretched forward his hands. They held a strange item. Ethani had never seen anything like that before. It was made out of paper and reminded her of a peculiar trinket. What's this? A kite. A bird? No, but it can fly. Ethani stared at the keeper in bewilderment. Fly? But how? Let me show you. Esteban performed some strange manipulations with the kite. Ethani couldn't understand anything, but the paper square soared into the sky. Wow, it flies, for real? Wind helps the kite stay in the air. Cool, so cool. The kite was bright compared to the grey clouds, and Ethani thought that she could see a magic bird which made darkness and sadness go away with its feathers. So beautiful and so calming. The girl pressed her hands against her chest, as if my worries are all flying away. Do you want to try? Sure. The keeper handed the rope over to Ethani. Wow. I love to play with the kite, even though their flight signifies departure of my guests. You're both happy and sad? It's hard to say. I'm happy at this very moment, and that's what's important. Yeah. The girl happily controlled the kite, watching it glide among the leaden clouds. I'll make one myself when I... Ethani swallowed her words. When she what? When she returns home? Or maybe it's better to take a different path. Water was infinite. The sea was like an endless dark sky, and she, Ethani, was gliding on its surface, like a kite. But a kite had no freedom. It was controlled by a human on the ground, and Ethani wasn't controlled by anyone. She had freedom of choice. It belonged to herself and no one else. It's hard to make a choice. Yes. But it's not impossible. Do you know what you want now? Ethani stayed silent. She watched the shining kite without a word for a while, marveling at its beauty and its natural flight. Everything will be decided soon. She'll depart on a new journey. Skip. I want to move on. Alright, that should be this specific ending. Wonderful words. Thank you. The girl was afraid of the dark sea, but she couldn't stay at the lighthouse forever. Not just because of the rules. I thought he wanted to change. I think we've done that, but yeah, that's the one we picked last time. I won't judge you for your choice, Ethani, but I hoped you'd choose another road. The keeper sighed. I hope you can achieve happiness. The sun was shining bright. Sea waves whispered a calm melody into Ethani's ears. Where am I? The girl looked around. She stood at the bright golden beach. There's no one here. Where's the wound? She was wounded, wasn't she? Yes, she most likely was. Ethani felt her body all over, but didn't feel any pain. It disappeared. Why was Ethani even sure that she was injured? She didn't remember. She started walking along the water's edge, enjoying the breeze and soft sunlight. She had nothing to worry about. I'll start my new life here. New life? Was there an old one? Ethani tried to jog her memory, but to no avail. The only thing she knew with certainty was her name. Ethani. Where'd she come from? Where was her old home? Did she have a family or friends? Was it that important anymore? Well, if I can't remember, so be it. Oblivion wasn't weighing in on the girl. On the contrary, her heart was light and calm. She found herself a new home. Here, she won't face any sadness or worries. There won't be any doubts or fear, only peace and tranquility. Are there other people here, I wonder? There must be. A world without people seemed dull and sad to Ethani, and that meant she was bound to meet them at some point. Hey, it's that again. The girl was clasping an item in her hand. A brooch? What is this beast? The girl couldn't remember, as if all the memories from her previous life were covered by a giant hand. Previous life? Who was I back then? Well, it doesn't matter. All of that was the unpleasant past anyway. Then forwards, only forwards. With a happy smile on her face, the girl ran on the sand. Let's go. Toward a new happy life. It didn't take long for Ethani to reach a town. She'd never seen anything like this town. She was, of course, lacking in memories, but she could swear she'd never seen anything like that. Even taking into account her most weird and fantastic dreams, the town left Ethani in awe. She walked through the streets for hours, looking at people and buildings, froze in place before the stalls with varied array of wares and exotic foods with their mouth agape. Ethani felt good and had a lot of fun, as if happiness in its purest form was beating inside her chest in place of her heart. Ethani started living in the town. She helped out one of the local inns, and she worked so diligently that the owners couldn't help but be proud of her. Ethani liked to greet the guests, bring them food, listen to their stories, and be pleasantly surprised at how many different roads and fates there are in the world. She explored the town she now lived in bit by bit. Tree-like houses blocked her vision, and strange horse-like creatures caused her worry and fear for a long time. The world around her was full of magic and shined like a precious stone. I don't know what my previous life was like, but this one sure is better. I can't imagine what can be better than this. After deciding that, the girl threw away all the worries about her past and started living a happy, carefree life. Time passed and Ethani was slowly getting used to the town. She wasn't afraid of horse creatures with big ears anymore. She would ride them, feed them carrots, and rub them behind the ear instead. She became so used to the tree-like houses that she couldn't imagine how one could live anywhere else. She still liked the stories the inn guests told her, but after a while the girl felt that she would rather experience the adventures herself, rather than listen about them. Days and nights passed, while a weird feeling was growing in Ethani's chest. She wasn't supposed to be here. Ethani liked the town and the inn, but she felt like she didn't belong there. Other towns, other worlds and inns appealed to her. I'm going on a journey. Ethani made a decision and said her farewells to the beautiful people that took care of her and let her work in the wonderful inn without a shadow of regret. It was sad, but Ethani had no doubts. Her journey was only beginning.